Well, they're on the edge of the promised land at the beginning of Numbers 13. Things could have been very different for the people of God. The book of Numbers could have been a lot shorter than it is. But they're supposed to be just about to go in. And they're told, chapter 13, verse 1 or verse 2, send some people to explore the land of Canaan, which I'm giving to the Israelites. God is giving this land to his people. That's the headline. Now go and explore it and spy it out. So verse 17, they're told to go with a big list of questions to answer, a survey of the land. Make sure you bring back some fruit. Verse 23, that's what they do. They carefully cut down a single cluster of grapes and they carry it on a pole. I guess if you carry it in the equivalent of a bag, it might get crushed. But there it is on a pole, and along with pomegranates and figs, they're heading back down to back out of the land to the Israelites to say, look, look what we found. And they get there and they say, well, it does indeed flow with milk and honey. Verse 27, here is its fruit, but the inhabitants of the land are utterly terrifying. They've got fortified cities, and frankly, the people are giants. Verse 32, we don't like tall people. We feel like grasshoppers next to them, they're saying. And then you get the most extraordinary response from the people who hear the spies' report, all except Caleb and Joshua, of course, are saying this, and the people respond in the most extraordinary way. They grumble, picking up on what we've already seen. So perhaps the previous two chapters are a sort of warning of what's to come. They grumble, and they get as far as proposing electing a new leader to take them back to Egypt, where they say, oh, we had it much better there. Why don't we go back there? I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? What's it like? It's like somebody who's been plucked out of the ocean as the Titanic goes down. The rescue boat has come along and has dragged this survivor out of the ocean onto the ship, and they say, actually, I don't want to be on this rescue ship. I want to be back in the ocean. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's utterly crazy. Or it's like a Christian nearing death. I've been trusting Jesus all these years, but now I'm not so sure. Do you know what? I wish I'd lived as a non-Christian all these years. What a wasted opportunity I've had. That's crazy, isn't it? Well, what follows is judgment from God for all but Joshua and Caleb, who provided that minority report and said, no, we can trust the promises of God. He will take us in. We can do this. But they wouldn't listen to them. And the New Testament gives us a warning, picking up on this. Hebrews 4, verse 11. Let us make every effort to enter the rest standing for the promised land. Let's make every effort to enter the rest so that no one will fall by following their example of disobedience. That's these people here. They were disobedient and they fell and they didn't enter the land, and they have to wander around until this entire generation has died, and then only Joshua can take them in, and the next generation will be the ones who enter the land. So the issue is faith versus fear. The issue is promises versus circumstances. The issue is what we can't see but have been promised versus what we can see in our circumstances around us. That was the issue for them, and they chose their circumstances over God's promise that stood as a headline over the whole episode. God had promised he was going to take them in. They just needed to trust him, take him at his word and go for it. But instead they thought, no, it's impossible. These people are too big. And it would be easy to let our seen circumstances now blot out faith in God's promises, wouldn't it? Faith says, no, we still have God's promises. Faith says we have so much more than the Israelites did. We have a God who has demonstrably kept his promises over and over again. So in the face of what we fear now, and those fears may be very real, we need to keep asking, well, okay, is God powerful? Is he in control? Is he loving? Is he good? And faith says, well, we know that those things are true, that he is all those things, because Jesus has died and Jesus has risen from the dead. And so God is saying, look, you have a sure and certain inheritance to come in the promised land of the new heavens and the new earth. And to get there, you just need to trust me and put your faith in me in the face of your fear. And faith says, okay, on the basis of that evidence, I will look to Jesus. I will fix my eyes on him, as Hebrews encourages us to do over and over again. And that's how he will get me there. As I simply trust in him and rely on him, he will take me, he will take us to the promised land, to rest.